The TSS Hyperion drifted silently through the Carina Nebula's outer rim, its sophisticated sensors probing the gas clouds for signs of exotic particles. To any passing observer, the research vessel might have appeared dormant. Its running lights dimmed and its massive collection arrays folded close to the hull. But appearances, as humanity had long known, could be deceiving. In the ship's primary research hub, Dr. Maya Chen adjusted the quantum resonance scanner with practiced precision. Her dark eyes reflected the holographic readouts as she tracked an unusual energy signature threading through the nebula's outer layers. After 3 years studying anomalous phenomena, she had learned to trust her instincts when something seemed off about the data. "Artemis, are you seeing this pattern in the theta band?" she asked, addressing the ship's eye companion. "It's almost like an artificial wavefront." "Yes," Artemis completed her thought. "The energy signature bears hallmarks of technological origin, though it doesn't match any known human emissions patterns." Maya straightened, her mind already racing through possibilities. Natural phenomena don't propagate with that level of coherence. Could be a ship using the nebula for cover, but whose? Her question was answered moments later as proximity alerts flashed across every screen. A massive vessel had just dropped out of FTL travel barely 50,000 kilometers from their position. Well within weapons range, had the Hyperion been a military vessel. Its hull design was entirely alien, all sweeping curves and iridescent surfaces that seemed to bend light around them. "Multiple smaller craft launching," Artemis reported calmly. "Their energy signatures suggest scout vessels. They appear to be conducting active scans of our hull." Maya nodded, already pulling up the ship's first contact protocols on her tablet. As the Hyperion's chief xenologist, she had trained extensively for this moment. Alert Captain Rodriguez and wake the rest of the command staff. But let's not power up any systems they might interpret as weapons. We're still a research vessel. The alien vessels are utilizing what appears to be quantum-based scanning technology, Artemis noted. Their technical capabilities are considerable. Maya watched as the alien scouts took up positions around the Hyperion, their scanning beams washing over the hull in patterns that suggested both curiosity and caution. "They're being thorough," she mused, "looking for threats, but also trying to understand us. Artemis, can you analyze their scan patterns? Might give us insight into their thought processes." "Their search algorithms show clear signs of technological sophistication," Artemis replied. "But they're missing several key aspects of our systems. They appear to be focusing primarily on conventional power signatures and weapons emissions." The main doors slid open as Captain Alina Rodriguez strode onto the bridge, her silver-streaked hair pulled back in a tight bun. "Status report," she demanded, though her tone remained measured. "First contact scenario in progress," Maya reported. "Unknown alien species, highly advanced. They're scanning us but haven't made any aggressive moves. Their technology seems to focus heavily on quantum mechanics. Different approach than ours, but equally sophisticated." Rodriguez studied the tactical display, her expression thoughtful. "Recommendations. We maintain our current passive stance," Maya suggested. "Let them satisfy their curiosity. But," she paused, fingers dancing across her console, "I'd like to start running our own analysis. If we can understand their scanning patterns, we might learn something about their scientific methodology." "Agreed." Rodriguez settled into her command chair. "Artemis, begin passive data collection. Maya, you have authorization to use the research arrays, but keep them in diagnostic mode only. Let's not give our visitors any reason for concern." The alien scouts continued their methodical survey, unaware that their own scans were providing the humans with a wealth of information about their technology and methods. Maya's fingers flew across multiple interfaces as she correlated data streams, building a preliminary profile of their visitors' technological base. "Fascinating," she muttered. "Their quantum technology is incredibly advanced, but they seem to have developed it along completely different lines than we did. They're using principles we theorized, but never successfully implemented. And they appear to be missing several key innovations that we take for granted, Artemis added. Their scanning patterns suggest they have no concept of our neural interface systems or our quantum coherence engines. Rodriguez leaned forward slightly. Could that give us an advantage if things go badly? Let's hope we don't need to find out, Maya replied, though she was already running simulations of possible scenarios. But yes, their blind spots are interesting. The alien mothership had drawn closer now, its massive hull gleaming with patterns of light that seemed to follow no predictable sequence. Maya's instruments detected complex quantum fields emanating from the vessel, suggesting levels of energy manipulation that both impressed and concerned her. They're preparing to establish communication, Artemis announced. Their transmission protocols are elegant, based on mathematical progressions. Classic first contact approach, Maya noted. Mathematics as a universal language. They're sophisticated, cautious, and logical. Captain, with your permission, I'd like to respond using similar principles, but perhaps we could add a few layers of complexity, test their cognitive capabilities while we demonstrate our own. Rodriguez nodded. Proceed, but carefully. Let's show them we can match their technological sophistication without appearing threatening. Maya began composing a response, her fingers dancing across the quantum interface as she wove together mathematical concepts with subtle hints about human scientific capabilities. The message would appear straightforward on the surface, a simple acknowledgement of contact using universal constants, but buried within its structure were layers of complexity that would reveal much about humanity's true technological advancement to anyone sophisticated enough to detect them. Message ready, she announced. Sending now. The bridge crew watched in tense silence as the transmission was acknowledged by the alien vessel. For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, nothing happened. Then new patterns of light rippled across the alien ship's hull, and a response began streaming into their systems. Maya's eyes widened as she analyzed the incoming data. Oh, she breathed. They didn't just understand our message. They're building on it. Their response includes quantum entanglement principles we haven't even published yet. They're showing off. Can we match their demonstration? Rodriguez asked. A small smile played across Maya's lips. Oh, we can do better than match it. Artemis, help me compose a response that incorporates our latest research on quantum consciousness transfer. Let's show our new friends that humanity has a few surprises of our own. The game was on, and Maya couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement. First contact was always a delicate dance, but this particular partner seemed worthy of humanity's best steps. She just hoped they were ready for what humanity could really do when pushed to demonstrate their capabilities. The situation aboard the TSS Hyperion shifted dramatically when the alien vessel, now identified as belonging to the Nexari, initiated an unexpected power surge. Maya's instruments detected quantum fluctuations that made her blood run cold. They were preparing their weapons systems. Multiple energy signatures powering up. Artemis reported, its voice maintaining its usual calm. Their quantum field generators are aligning in patterns consistent with offensive configurations. Captain Rodriguez's response was immediate. All hands to stations. Dr. Chen, what changed? Your last exchange seemed to be going well. Maya's fingers flew across her console, reviewing the complex mathematical dialogue she'd been having with the aliens. The shift happened right after we demonstrated our quantum consciousness transfer principles. Their energy patterns showed surprise then, concern. No, fear. Dr. James Wilson, the ship's quantum physicist, burst onto the bridge, his usually disheveled appearance even more pronounced. Captain, I've been analyzing their reactions. They think we're lying about our capabilities. Or worse, they think we stole the technology from someone else. Explain, Rodriguez demanded, her eyes never leaving the tactical display as more Nexari scout ships moved to surround them. Their entire technological development is based on quantum manipulation of physical space, Wilson explained, pulling up comparative analyses on the main screen. But we humans took a different path. We learn to manipulate consciousness and merge it with quantum systems. To them, that's impossible. It violates their fundamental understanding of sentient development. Maya nodded, understanding dawning. They think we're either deceiving them or we're thieves who stripped this technology from another civilization. Their response patterns show increasing agitation with each demonstration of our capabilities. Incoming transmission, Artemis announced. Text only, translated. Surrender your vessel for inspection and technology verification. Resistance will be met with appropriate force. Rodriguez's laugh was sharp and without humor. They have no idea what they're dealing with, do they? She turned to her crew. Options. Maya shared a quick look with Wilson before responding. We could show them exactly what human ingenuity looks like when backed into a corner. Artemis, how quickly can we repurpose the quantum resonance scanners? Calculating. The AI responded. With current power distribution, we could convert the primary research arrays into quantum field disruptors in approximately 3 minutes. However, this would violate several safety protocols. Override those protocols, Rodriguez commanded. Authorization Sierra 9 Delta. Dr. Wilson, what else can we repurpose? Wilson was already moving between stations, his hands dancing across interfaces as he reconfigured research equipment. The particle accelerator we use for nebula studies. With some creative adjustments, it could generate a localized space-time distortion. Not enough to damage their ships, but enough to make them reconsider their approach. Do it, Rodriguez ordered. Maya, coordinate with Artemis. I want options that will demonstrate our capabilities without causing actual harm. Let's show them why threatening a human research vessel is a very poor decision. The next few minutes were a symphony of human innovation. Equipment designed for peaceful scientific research was transformed into defensive systems that would have made military engineers weep with joy. Maya watched in pride as her fellow scientists demonstrated why humanity had survived every challenge thrown at them. Their quantum scanners are probing our modifications, Artemis reported. They appear confused by the energy signatures. Their targeting systems are having difficulty maintaining lock. That's because they're looking for traditional weapons, Wilson explained, grinning as he finished another set of modifications. They expect missiles, energy weapons, or shield generators. Instead, we're turning the fundamental forces of the universe against them using research equipment. Their targeting computers don't know what to make of it. Maya completed her own adjustments, watching as the quantum resonance scanners began emitting precisely calculated interference patterns. Look at their scout ships, she pointed out. Their quantum field generators are experiencing harmonic disruption. Nothing dangerous, but I bet their sensors are giving them some very interesting readings right now. The necessary response was immediate. Their scout ships began adjusting positions, trying to compensate for the unexpected interference. The mothership's energy emissions fluctuated as they attempted to understand and counter the humans' defensive measures. New transmission incoming, Artemis announced. Your technological capabilities exceed known parameters for your development level. Explain your advancement or face immediate neutralization. Rodriguez smiled, but there was steel in her expression. Send this response. We are the human scientific core. Every piece of technology on this vessel was developed through human innovation and scientific exploration. We have no desire for conflict, but if you force this confrontation, you will learn why challenging human ingenuity is unwise. We recommend instead that we return to peaceful dialogue and scientific exchange. They're powering up additional systems, Wilson reported, his hands never stopping their work. But their energy signatures are erratic. Our quantum interference is affecting their ability to coordinate their ship systems. They still don't understand, Maya realized, watching the patterns of their responses. Their entire civilization is built on the idea that technological development follows predictable paths. We're showing them something that shouldn't be possible by their models of advancement. Then let's show them something else impossible, Rodriguez decided. Dr. Wilson, that space-time distortion you mentioned. Make it happen. Dr. Chen, Prepare another mathematical proof. This time, demonstrate how we merged quantum mechanics with consciousness. Let's give them a choice between understanding us and testing us. As the crew worked to implement their captain's orders, Maya couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. Here they were, a simple research vessel, facing down a militarily superior force. But they were doing it not with weapons of war, but with the transformed tools of science. They were demonstrating one of humanity's greatest strengths, the ability to take their drive for knowledge and understanding and turn it into something that could reshape reality itself when necessary. The space around the Hyperion began to shimmer as Wilson's modifications took effect. Localized distortions in space-time created a visual display that would have been beautiful if it wasn't also a demonstration of human defensive capabilities. Maya's mathematical proof streamed toward the Nexari ships, carrying within it the story of human scientific achievement and an invitation to understand rather than fear. Now they would see how the Nexari would respond to this demonstration of human potential. Would they choose to learn and understand, or would they force the humans to show them just how creative they could be when pushed into a corner? The Nexari mothership's response came not in words but in action. A brilliant pulse of quantum energy erupted from its bow, a display of power that would have crippled most vessels. But the TSS Hyperion wasn't most vessels, and its crew wasn't about to let advanced physics intimidate them. Energy pulse incoming, Artemis announced. Quantum signature suggests it's designed to disrupt our power systems. Maya's fingers danced across her console, a slight smile playing at her lips. Artemis, initiate Protocol Omega. Let's show them what happens when you try to use quantum mechanics against people who redefined it. The pulse struck the space around the Hyperion, but instead of finding vulnerable systems, it encountered something unprecedented. The ship's quantum resonance arrays, originally designed to study nebula formations, had been reconfigured into a complex web of quantum entanglement fields. The hostile energy didn't disable their systems, it fed them. Power absorption at 80% efficiency, Wilson reported, his eyes gleaming with scientific excitement. Their attack just gave us enough energy to power the particle accelerator at full capacity. Talk about unintended consequences. Rodriguez leaned forward in her command chair. Status of their fleet. They're confused. Maya answered, studying the readings. Their sensors must be telling them something they consider impossible. We didn't just survive their attack. We transformed it into usable energy. That goes against everything they understand about quantum warfare. The bridge crew watched as the Nexari ships adjusted their positions, their formations suggesting uncertainty. Their quantum field emissions showed patterns of rapid recalculation, as if they were desperately trying to understand what they were facing. New transmission incoming, Artemis reported. Your technology violates established principles of energy conservation and quantum mechanics. Explain your methods of power conversion. They still don't get it, Wilson muttered, shaking his head as he continued modifying systems. They're looking for some grand technological secret, but they're missing the simple truth. Human innovation doesn't follow their rules because we never knew we were supposed to. Maya nodded, understanding dawning. That's it, isn't it? They developed their technology along rigid, predictable lines. But humans, we stumbled into quantum mechanics through a dozen different fields of study. We approached it from angles they never considered because we didn't know better. Send them this response, Rodriguez commanded. Our methods arise from human scientific exploration and innovation. We offer peaceful exchange of knowledge, but we will not submit to demands or threats. Your next action will determine whether this becomes a lesson in human defensive capabilities or an opportunity for mutual understanding. As they waited for a response, Maya continued her work. The quantum resonance arrays were now doing things their designers had never imagined possible, creating interference patterns that made the Hyperion almost impossible to target effectively. Wilson had transformed the particle accelerator into what he jokingly called a reality persuader, capable of generating localized distortions in space-time that would give any attacking ship's targeting computers fits. Multiple power signatures detected, Artemis warned. They appear to be charging weapons across their fleet. Rodriguez's expression hardened. They've made their choice. Maya, Wilson, show them what human creativity really looks like when pushed. Artemis, initiate full spectrum response. What followed was a symphony of human ingenuity. Maya's quantum interference patterns expanded, creating zones of probability flux that made conventional quantum targeting impossible. Wilson's reality persuader went to work, generating micro-distortions in spacetime that played havoc with the necessary sensors. And through it all, Artemis coordinated their efforts with machine precision while displaying very human creativity. The Nexari fleet's formation began to waver as their ships struggled to maintain coherent sensor readings. Their quantum-based technology, so advanced and sophisticated, was being countered by humans using scientific equipment in ways that shouldn't have been possible. They're attempting to establish a coherent quantum field between their ships, Wilson reported, trying to coordinate their attacks through quantum entanglement. Maya's laugh was almost gleeful. Oh, they really shouldn't have done that. Artemis, remember that quirk we discovered in quantum field harmonics during the Carina Nebula study. Calculating optimal frequency now, the AI responded. Implementing in 3, 2, 1. The space between the ships lit up with complex patterns of quantum interference. The Nexari's attempt at coordination backfired spectacularly as their own quantum entanglement network became a conduit for the humans' defensive measures. Ships began to drift out of formation as their crews struggled to maintain control of systems that suddenly weren't behaving as they should. Their quantum fields are destabilizing, Maya reported. Nothing dangerous, but they won't be able to coordinate effectively until they shut down their entanglement network. And if they do that, they lose their primary advantage of fleet coordination. Rodriguez finished. Well done. Now let's see if they're ready to talk reasonably. The Nexari mothership's energy emissions fluctuated wildly for a moment before stabilizing at a lower level. Their fleet's formation shifted from attack positions to a more neutral stance. New transmission, Artemis announced. Your defensive capabilities exceed our models of technological development. We request a dialogue regarding your scientific methods. Rodriguez smiled. Now that's more like it. Maya, prepare a proper scientific briefing. Let's show them why cooperation with humans is far more rewarding than confrontation. As Maya began composing a response that would bridge the gap between their different approaches to science, she couldn't help but feel proud. They had faced down a technologically advanced alien fleet not through superior firepower, but through human creativity and the ability to imagine new possibilities. It was a perfect demonstration of why humanity had survived and thrived against every challenge they'd faced. They never accepted that something was impossible just because it hadn't been done before. The temporary peace between the TSS Hyperion and the Nexari fleet was shattered by an unexpected crisis. Artemis' sensors detected it first. A massive quantum surge building within the nebula, a natural phenomenon that threatened both species equally. Multiple quantum resonance cascades forming, Maya reported, her fingers flying across displays. The nebula's reacting to our quantum manipulations, both ours and theirs. We've accidentally triggered a chain reaction. Wilson's face paled as he studied the readings. The energy buildup is exponential. If it continues, it'll create a quantum storm that could tear apart ships from both fleets. Can we stop it? Rodriguez demanded, watching as the beautiful colors of the nebula began to shift ominously. Not alone, Maya answered. Our quantum resonance arrays could dampen part of the cascade, but we'd need at least triple our current capacity to contain the whole thing. She paused, a plan forming. But if the Nexari helped? Rodriguez understood immediately. Open a channel to their flagship. Priority signal. The response was immediate. The Nexari had clearly detected the danger as well. Their transmission arrived encoded in the same quantum mathematical language they'd been using, but now there was an urgency to it that transcended any linguistic barriers. They're asking for our analysis, Maya reported. Their sensors detect the cascade, but they don't understand why their normal containment protocols aren't working. Because this isn't a normal quantum event, Wilson explained, already sending data to the Nexari. Our different approaches to quantum mechanics created something entirely new. We need to combine our methods to stop it. The next few minutes were a rush of intense collaboration. Maya and Wilson worked with their Nexari counterparts, sharing data and theories faster than their translators could keep up. They fell back on pure mathematics, the universal language of physics, to bridge the gap. Their quantum field technology is perfect for containing the energy, Maya noted, but they can't maintain stability under these conditions. Our quantum consciousness interface could provide the adaptability they need, but we lack their raw power generation capacity. Then we combine them, Rodriguez decided. Maya, can you link our systems with theirs? It's not that simple. Maya started, then paused, her eyes lighting up with an idea. Actually, Artemis, remember how we modified the quantum resonance arrays to absorb their attack? What if we reverse that process? Calculating possibility, the AI responded. Yes, we could create a quantum bridge between our vessels. But Dr. Chen, the power requirements would exceed our safety limits by 300%. We're about to be hit by a quantum storm anyway, Wilson pointed out. I don't think standard safety protocols apply here. Rodriguez nodded sharply. Do it. Send the Nexari our plans. Let's see if they're willing to trust us. The response came quickly, a burst of mathematical equations that Maya recognized as an improved version of their quantum bridge concept. The Nexari hadn't just accepted their plan. They'd enhanced it. They're extending quantum field generators, Artemis reported, ready to synchronize with our arrays on your mark. What followed was perhaps the most dramatic demonstration yet of what different species could achieve together. The Hyperion's quantum resonance arrays, designed for scientific observation but repurposed first for defense and now for survival, linked with the Nexari's powerful quantum field generators. Human adaptability and creativity merged with Nexari precision and power. The effect was immediate and stunning. A web of controlled quantum fields spread through the affected region of the nebula, guided by human consciousness interface technology, but powered by Nexari quantum engines. Where the cascading energies met this combined defense, they were caught, channeled, and gradually dispersed. It's working, Maya breathed, watching the energy levels slowly decrease. Their power generation capacity paired with our adaptive control systems, we're actually doing it. The Nexari ships moved in perfect coordination with the Hyperion, their formerly hostile formation, now a synchronized dance of survival. As minutes passed, the quantum storm threat diminished, leaving behind a changed region of space and changed perspectives on both sides. Energy levels returning to normal parameters, Artemis announced. Quantum cascade contained. Danger has passed. A new transmission arrived from the Nexari flagship. This time, it wasn't just mathematical equations. They'd taken the time to compose a proper message. Your methods are unorthodox, but undeniably effective. We acknowledge that we may have been hasty in our earlier judgment. Perhaps there is much we could learn from each other. Rodriguez smiled. Send them this. That's one thing humans have learned over centuries of scientific exploration. There's always more to learn, especially from those who think differently than we do. Maya watched as the quantum bridge between their ships gradually powered down, but the connection it represented remained. They're requesting a full technical exchange, she reported. They want to understand how we developed our consciousness interface technology. And I'd love to learn more about their quantum field generators, Wilson added. The precision they achieved was remarkable. Well then, Rodriguez said, it seems we found a much better use for our time than threatening each other. Maya, prepare our research labs for visitors. I think we're about to start a very interesting cultural exchange. The crisis had passed, but it had left something valuable in its wake. A newfound respect between two species who had approached the universe from vastly different directions, only to find that their paths could merge into something greater than either had imagined alone. It was, Maya reflected, a very human outcome, turning potential disaster into opportunity through creativity, cooperation, and the willingness to try the impossible. 3 days after the quantum storm incident, the TSS Hyperion's main laboratory had been transformed into an unprecedented center of interspecies scientific collaboration. Maya watched with satisfaction as human and Nexari scientists worked side by side, their initial mistrust replaced by mutual fascination. Your quantum consciousness interface is elegant in its chaos, senior researcher Zixta commented, her crystalline form-shifting colors as she studied the human technology. We would never have considered allowing conscious thought to influence quantum states directly. In our understanding, such interaction should have collapsed the quantum field immediately. That's because you approached quantum mechanics from the outside in, Wilson explained, manipulating a holographic representation of their merged technologies. We humans stumbled into it almost backwards. We were studying consciousness and neural networks when we first discovered the quantum effects in human thought patterns. By the time we realized it should have been impossible, we'd already done it. Maya nodded, making adjustments to the new hybrid system they were developing. That's humanity's secret, really. Half our greatest discoveries came from not knowing something couldn't be done. The other half came from refusing to accept that it couldn't be done even when we were told it was impossible. The Nexari science team had been particularly struck by human improvisation during the crisis. Their own technology was more advanced in many ways, but it was built on rigid principles and predictable progressions. The human approach of creative adaptation and repurposing had opened their eyes to new possibilities. Captain Rodriguez, Artemis announced, "The Nexari High Command is ready for your report." Rodriguez straightened her uniform as she approached the quantum comm array. The connection established, revealing the impressive form of Nexari Admiral Kextol, their crystalline body gleaming with the deep blue hues of authority. "Captain," the Admiral's translated voice carried tones of respect that hadn't been present in their first contact. "Our analysis of the quantum storm incident is complete. Your crew's actions were unprecedented and effective." "Thank you, Admiral," Rodriguez responded, "though I should note that our success was only possible through cooperation. Neither of our species could have contained that storm alone. Precisely why I'm contacting you." The Admiral's colors shifted to include streaks of green. Indication of future possibilities, Maya had learned. The High Command has reviewed your ship's original mission. You were conducting research on quantum phenomena in nebulae, correct? Yes, studying natural quantum fluctuations and their effects on space-time stability. Our encounter with your fleet was unexpected but educational. The Admiral's crystalline form sparkled, their equivalent of human amusement. Indeed, we propose expanding your mission. The Nexari Science Council would like to establish a joint research initiative. Your human creativity combined with our established quantum engineering could advance both our species' understanding significantly. Maya couldn't help but smile as she watched the faces of both human and Nexari scientists light up at this proposal. In just 3 days, they'd already developed theoretical frameworks that neither species would have conceived alone. "There's something elegant about it," Wilson mused later, as they watched Nexari engineers helping to upgrade the Hyperion's quantum resonance arrays with their more advanced technology. They spent centuries developing their understanding of quantum mechanics through careful, methodical study. We charged in through a dozen different doors, making connections they never considered. Apart, both approaches have limitations. Together we rewrite the rules," Maya finished. "They're already talking about applying our consciousness interface principles to their quantum field technology, and their quantum engineering expertise is helping us refine our more experimental approaches." Rodriguez joined them at the observation window. The Admiral's final comment was interesting. They said meeting us had forced them to reconsider their entire approach to evaluating alien civilizations. Apparently, We've proven that technological progress doesn't have to follow their expected patterns to be valid. Humans do have a habit of taking unexpected paths. Maya agreed. It's probably why we've survived so long as a species. We're adaptable, creative, and too stubborn to accept impossible as an answer, Wilson added with a grin. The Hyperion's main laboratory had become a symbol of this new partnership. Nexuri quantum field generators now worked in harmony with human consciousness interface systems. Research equipment that had been hastily modified for defense during the crisis was being refined into new hybrid technologies that neither species had imagined possible before. Artemis, Maya called out, what's your analysis of our combined research potential? The AI's response held a note of what could only be described as enthusiasm. Based on current progress and projected developments, our joint research could advance both human and Nexuri understanding of quantum mechanics by approximately 200 years within the next 6 months. The combination of Nexuri precision with human creativity appears to be highly complementary. Rodriguez nodded, watching as another Nexuri science vessel dropped out of quantum space to join their growing research fleet. From potential enemies to research partners in less than a week. I'd say that's a very human outcome. No, Maya corrected, gesturing to where human and Nexuri scientists work together, each bringing their unique perspectives to their shared challenges. That's something better. It's proof that different approaches, different ways of thinking, different species, they can all come together to create something greater than any could achieve alone. And isn't that the best outcome anyone could hope for? As the Hyperion continued its mission, now accompanied by its new Nexuri partners, it stood as a testament to one of humanity's greatest strengths: the ability to turn potential adversaries into allies through innovation, adaptation, and the unwavering belief that cooperation would always yield better results than conflict. The quantum storm that had threatened to destroy them had instead forged a partnership that would reshape both their civilizations' understanding of the universe and of each other.